Astonishing statistics.
Astonishing
Parking and CFAX on the programme today.
Exactly.
Stay tuned.
Exactly. All the headlines coming up, of course, at the top of the hour as well. Now, though, the news teams across the UK. Good morning from Midlands Today. I'm Kay Alexander. Peugeot's car factory in Coventry is to get a large grant from the government. The money, just over £14 million, will be used to help upgrade the Brighton plant so it can produce the successor to the company's 206 car. Work on renovating the factory will begin next year and cost almost £150 million. Meanwhile, talks will resume today in an attempt to try and avoid strike action at Royal Doulton. Around 500 workers at the factory in Stoke-on-Trent are to be balloted over the annual wage increase and the severance pay they'll get when the factory shuts down. The Nile Street site will close by the middle of next year. Well, there's been more success for the Midlands at the Paralympics in Athens. Deborah Brennan from Telford won a bronze medal in the women's T34 100 metres final. No medal, though, for Bromsgrove's Richard White, I'm afraid. He finished 6th in the final of the men's T35 100 metres. But today, Lee Pearson from Cheddleton in Staffordshire goes for his second gold medal of the Games in the freestyle dressage to music. Well, good luck to him. On to some travel news now, and on the M6 junction, the Junction 11 southbound exit slip road is closed for roadworks, and that's the Cannock exit. In Birmingham, there's an accident on Moneyhull Hall Road in Walkers Heath at Broad Lane. In Redditch, there's an accident on the Warwick Highway at the B4497 Battons Drive. In Coventry, there's only one lane open inbound on Holyhead Road at South Bank Road, and that's because of roadworks. In Ashbourne in Derbyshire, there's an accident on the A52 westbound, that's at the A515. But good news, you'll be glad to know that the Midland Metro has been repaired after vandalism earlier this week and is now fully operational. Well, let's have a look at the weather forecast now, and here's Jay Wynn. Good morning, Jay.
Hello there, good morning. We'll start with a look at the big picture across the UK, and there you have it, a weather front bringing some cloud and some rain right the way through the Midlands this morning. But the good news is it's pushing its way southwards fairly readily, so I'm fairly confident that today's story is an improving one. But there will be some rain to get rid of through this morning. To the north, brighter skies already developing, and this will push its way southwards through the afternoon. So most of us will see at least some spells of sunshine through the afternoon, although things in the far south of the region may well stay a little bit cloudy. A northwesterly breeze will take the edge off of those temperatures, so a bit of a cool feel to things in spite of 16 or 17 degrees. So today we'll see that early rain, but it will brighten up from the north. Tomorrow, not looking too bad at all. A fine day, some decent spells of sunshine. Saturday is looking rather cloudy, and there's certainly the possibility of some rain.
Thanks, Jay. Well, I'll be back with more Midlands news in half an hour. Join me then if you can. Bye-bye.
This Sunday, London's Trafalgar Square will be transformed into a giant canvas when Rolf Harris and a team of 150 budding artists recreate Constable's The Hay Wain in just one day. BBC One will join them live as the deadline approaches, when the pressure will be on. Rolf on Art, the big event, Sunday at 7 on BBC One.
Hello, very good morning to you. You're watching Breakfast with Dammit Monahan and Natasha Kaplinsky.
The family of Ken Bigley, the British hostage being held in Iraq, have made a direct appeal to the kidnappers to set him free.
That is our main story here on Breakfast. It's Thursday, September the 23rd.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Also.
Good morning, I'm Kay Alexander. Now the news, travel and weather in the Midlands. Well, as you've probably heard, plans are likely to be revealed today for a brand new toll motorway between Birmingham and Manchester. The road would be operated by the private sector and would run alongside the current M6. Our transport correspondent Peter Plisner reports.
Widening plans for this very stretch of motorway were unveiled several years ago and have continued to be highly controversial. Now those plans are about to be swept aside and replaced by a much bigger scheme, almost certainly built by the private sector. The parallel motorway would be tolled, similar to the M6 toll which opened last year. that's being seen as a success. Soundings from the government indicate that additional road space won't be free, so we'll all have to pay for it. An announcement by the Transport Secretary, Alistair Darling, is expected at lunchtime today.
Trevor Masters, the farm worker from Herefordshire who sparked an international manhunt when he jumped bail during his trial for sex offences at Cardiff Crown Court in August 2000, is to appeal against his conviction today. Masters was found guilty of 9 offences and sentenced to 12 years imprisonment in his absence. He eventually began his prison sentence in March last year. 3 judges will hear his appeal in London today. With new evidence of a decline in manufacturing from the TUC this morning, workers at an historic train-making company say they're not giving up the fight to keep their jobs. Later this week, a delegation from Alstom in Birmingham will travel to Paris to attend a shareholders' meeting. After September, it's likely that only 200 administrative staff will stay on the site. Union leaders have predicted there could be no manufacturing jobs left in the West Midlands in 20 years. Cattle which catch TB have to be destroyed in case they infect us. Some say badgers are to blame for spreading TB and they should be culled. But our science correspondent David Gregory has been finding out about an alternative.
TB rates in Midlands cattle are up. Some farmers blame badgers. The government may cull badgers, but Aston University is working on an alternative, vaccination, using these little blue beads. Dr. Hannah Batchelor told me more.
What we're trying to do is use them to deliver vaccines to badgers. The problem there is if the badger eats something, the vaccine can get destroyed by the acid in its stomach. So we put it in the middle of the beads. We can use it to protect the vaccine so it goes through the stomach and it can be absorbed in the intestine.
There are still plenty of problems for the scientists at Aston to overcome, but they reckon within 3 to 5 years they could well offer vaccination of badgers as an alternative to culling them.
Thank you very much, David. Well, I'll be back with more Midlands news, and John Hammond joins us for a full weather forecast in half an hour. Now back to London. Bye-bye.
The government is planning to build a new toll motorway to link Birmingham and Manchester.
MPs are warning that the current tracing system for cattle is inadequate. The scheme, which is supposed to protect against outbreaks of diseases like foot and mouth, has failed to account for more than 1 million cows.
And the Queen will officially open the £3.5 million Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Fountain this morning in Hyde Park.
Coming up on the programme later on this morning, from Albert Square to Armenia, the actress Michelle Collins is going to be here to tell us about her work with Oxfam in Asia.